E-King's Fight News. Good morning to all the subscribers, man. Let's get it. Richard Schaefer. That's right, Richard Schaefer, fellow boxing promoter. He went in on Eddie Hearn. And he basically exposed what Eddie Hearn is doing wrong as a promoter. And once again, insinuated that, you know, it's bad for the sport what he's doing. It's just bad for the sport. And I have to agree. I have to agree with Richard Schaefer. This is a guy that single-handedly, he made Canelo Mayweather happen. He was the driving force behind that fight. And a lot of those Mayweather fights when he was taking on the Golden Boy fighters, Robert Guerrero, Victor Ortiz, you know, the list goes on. Right? So, this is what Richard Schaefer had to say pertaining to Eddie Hearn. E-King Fight News, more on this. Alright guys, don't get sensitive because, okay, this is what he had to say. As a promoter, as a boxing promoter, you have an obligation. You're obligated to maximize the revenue for your fighter. You have that obligation. Right? If there's one fight out there for your championship fighter that does tens of millions more than any other fight, what the fuck are you waiting around for April for? What the fuck are you waiting for taking a high-risk fight against Povetkin? Why would you do that? I mean, it's absurd. For a mandatory title defense? Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Yet, Eddie Hearn is the one behind this whole operation. Eddie and Barry, whatever, they're both fucking Hearns. And Barry even said he would rather Anthony Joshua fight Alexander Povetkin than fight Deontay Wilder. And these guys are supposed to, you know, be the brains behind this Matchroom USA takeover, all this other shit. And it's all bullshit. All of it. So, you know, Richard Schaefer, you know, he said that, and then he went on to say it's not good for the sport. You know, why would you wait on a situation that is very volatile? We have two fighters that will be staying busy. Deontay Wilder needs to stay relevant. He's going to have a fight. Another fight in 2018. And, you know, who knows what can happen. Wilder may win by knockout. Wilder may get knocked down. Wilder may get injured. There's a big reason why Oscar De La Hoya told Triple G, you know what? If you're fighting Canelo, you cannot fight Billy Joe Saunders. This is the first fight. Billy Joe Saunders was trying to call out Triple G. They were entertaining that fight. And Oscar De La Hoya said, you know what? No, don't even entertain this shit. If you go ahead and fight Billy Joe Saunders, there's no fight. You see how that works? Oh, it's something like 80. Anyways, from Richard Schaefer's point of view, you have to understand this is a boxing promoter. He promotes Mikey Garcia. He promoted Floyd Mayweather. He promotes Tony Yoka. He is one of the founding partners of the promotional company Ringstar Sports, right? So, I mean, shit. He's got a lot coming to the table. He's got some good prospects. Joe Joyce, Money Powell. I believe he's got these guys. So, look out for Richard Schaefer, man. He's coming. He's coming for a real takeover. He's also heavily involved in the World Boxing Super Series, which is going to have a bantamweight tournament that looks to be absolutely lit. Nonito Donaire, Zolani Tate, Ryan Burnett, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Naoya, the monster Inoue. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I mean, that's real promoting. And I mean, what Eddie Hearn is doing, you know, mixing, matching fighters, throwing fights together in 48 hours, man, that shit ain't gonna work for too long. Like, it might hold up in the UK. You might be able to pull Sky at box office on these random ass fights. You know, Dillian White, Joseph Parker, fucking, you know, what else did he put out there? What trash did he put out there? Tony Bellew versus David Haye. Oh my God. I mean, you know, if Tony Bellew comes back, it's gonna be on a Sky box office against another bum ass fighter. I mean, fuck out of here, man. I'll tell you what, there's one fight that Eddie Hearn's involved in that actually makes sense and that's good for the sport of boxing. And that's Danny Jacobs versus Sergey Derevyanchenko. I'll give him credit for making that fight. It's going to be on HBO. And most likely, we're probably going to see a familiar face on the undercard. Big Baby Duck, Jarrell Miller. So you know what it is, man. You know what it is, man. So Richard Schaefer went in. He said, you know, it's not good for the sport. This fight should be happening. Wilder Joshua should be happening, but it's not happening. And we know why it's not happening. It has a lot to do with Eddie Hearn. I mean, that's really the real reason this fight hasn't happened. I truly believe, you know, as much as guys want to blame Anthony Joshua, and he deserves blame. Anthony Joshua definitely deserves blame for this. But I think the driving force, the sabotage, the force that certainly does not want this fight to happen is Eddie Hearn. It's been Eddie Hearn all along. And it's just such a shame. It's such a shame how this trash coming from the UK, this pompous attitude, thinks that he can command the US market, like literally the US market, with fights like Joshua and Povetkin on DAZN. Didn't even give that fight to Showtime. But hey, it is what it is, man. He wants to come in with a streaming platform. Like, what kind of hoe does this? What kind of hoe invents a new way for boxing fans to pay money, and watch fights on some fucking app? Who the fuck does that? Like honestly, and I know. Really, Bob Arum started this shit with ESPN Plus. You know, he really did. But I'll tell you this much: when's the next time Bob Arum does a pay-per-view fight? Huh? When's the next time Bob Arum does a pay-per-view fight? He hasn't done a pay-per-view in quite some time. He's going away from the pay-per-view model to this $5 a month. Well, $5 a month is $60. That's about enough money that you would pay on a pay-per-view for all these other fights, right? Anyways, I digress. I mean, that $5 a month, I have to say, is a good price point. It is for that kind of content. And to have this archive of ESPN Classic fights, I have to say that's a much better deal than, say, $15 to $20 for DAZN. Like, for the fucking DAZN, man. You can't fight these. We're not done. Y'all know what it is. In fact, what Eddie Hearn should be considering is trying to match that $5 price point, because I think it's a key factor. If ESPN Plus becomes successful, that's going to be a key factor. It's that $5 a month price point that makes it attractive. But end of day, you can always stream the fights, guys. You can always stream the fights. Why pay to stream when you can watch it for free? I'm telling you, don't even sweat a fucking moment about the zone, because I'm gonna have all these links. I'm gonna have all these links in the description box on the day of the fight. I don't give a damn. E-King Fight News. Let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we're out.